What is going on, y'all? Welcome to the Joel Friday TV podcast. I am Joel Friday. Bienvenido. Welcome to the show. Few announcements before we get started. Do me a favor, hit that like button, smack it, lay the smack down on the like, subscribe, and share button. Tell your peoples about the show so we get the subscribers up and the message out. Do it now. Help a brother out. As you guys know, it is a talk show, so you can call in at any point during the show. 888-775-3773. 888-775-3773. And we can talk about whatever you want. Past shows, today's show. We could fight, argue, agree, fellowship, whatever you want to do. I'm here for it. You do have that option. If for whatever reason you can't call in, but you still have a question or comment, or you just want to support the show, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/JoelFridayTV. The link is in the description, or go directly to the live YouTube chat. Hit the super chat button. Boom! Send your question or comments there. I'll read them live on air. You do have those options. Amazing stuff. If you don't hit that like button, you ain't black, says C-Sal. If you don't hit that like, what is you doing? Hit that like button. We are live on YouTube and on Instagram. We are live on YouTube and on Instagram. Shout out to the YouTube chat, the Snake Pit, the Mod Squad holding it down. Amazing stuff. Shout out to the IG chat, the Lion's Den. People in the IG chat as well. Shout out. Amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. It's amazing. It is Thursday. Today's my last day of the week. And I am not here tomorrow. But I am back on Monday. So today we are gonna have a little show. We'll see how it goes. I have some stuff I want to talk about. A couple things. Shout out to the Mod Squad. Shout out to the Mod Squad on IG. That's what's up. Amazing stuff. Shout out to CG83, if I'm saying it properly, on IG right now. Shout out to CG. CG is always supporting and commenting on the videos, and I always see her picture pop up. So shout out to CG83. Always showing love. I appreciate it. Right on. All right. The greatest mods on this side of heaven are on the JFTV podcast. The greatest mods. So let's get into it. So, as you guys see the title, Age Holds No Value. I want to talk about this because I think it's a topic that doesn't get talked about enough. I'm so distracted by the chat. It doesn't get talked about enough. But age holds no value, and I think that this is a big issue in the teachings of the experts, and where the experts have where the experts have failed society because they put these beliefs in the minds of people and people believe them. So I guess it's not the experts' fault, it's the people's fault. It's the people who it's the people who believe into it, which is the problem. But you know, I want to talk about a few things that where I realized that this whole thing about age is a lie. A few examples that I want to share. And maybe it'll resonate with some people, maybe it won't. But here's a few examples of the lies of age that have affected people worldwide, literally. The first one is a woman's body clock, right? Now, I'm not saying that there's not certain things that can indicate a woman is like running out of time. Actually, that is what I'm saying. Let me not soften the blow. A woman's body clock. I think you do women who believe this do themselves an injustice by thinking they have to hurry up because their biological clock is ticking. That's dumb. And the reason why that's dumb is because they say that in your 30s is where you better hurry up. You better have a child in your 30s. If you don't have it in your 30s, you're going to miss the opportunity. You're going to da-da-da. And I'm not saying that there's not like a what do you call it? A reputation of women being in their 30s not having babies. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that a lot of it has to do with your mindset, right? A lot of it has to do, if you're being told you can't have babies past 30 and you believe that, you're not having babies past 30. Because you're believing into it and it's not true. There's so many women that I've known, including my mother who's had babies past 30. And of course, it's not ideal. I mean, I don't even believe that. Let me take that back. Because who's to say it's not ideal either? Who's to say that 30s is late? Who's to say 40s is late? Who's to say 50s is late? Who's to say, you know what I mean? It's more so about, to me, maturity. It's more so about being what a child needs to grow up a decent person. You know what I mean? Like, and I know many ladies who's had children because they've been rushing and stressing because of this age thing, that they have a children and the children are jacked up. The children's parents aren't together, right? Children's parents aren't married, right? And the children's are suffering because of that, because of this biological clock. Stop with the biological clock stuff. Let life and let God just kind of lead you on the way and make sense of things. And yeah, I want to hear what the ladies think about that. I have some other examples I want to give you guys. We got some callers calling in. I appreciate it. Give me 1 second here. It's like, don't be stressed out about that. And ladies, don't be sad if you're coming up on your 30s or you're in your 30s and none has happened for you yet. Don't be sad about that. Let God lead you. Trust in God. Have faith. There's plenty of people. Sarah was 99 in the Bible. I think my mom had my little brother at 38. And then I know people who have babies at 40s, 50s.
You have an old mama?
She's not old. Jesse came in and asked if I have an old mom. No, she's not. She's not old. She had my son my son. She had my brother at an age.
Old mama who had your son.
Never mind. Go.
So your mama was
She had my brother at 38. Yeah.
So he must have been 40 when he had you.
No, 29. Anyway, Jesse was talking to me. I was trying to wave him out, but that didn't work. You got to know how to deal with it. You got to know how to work the system. You don't wave him out because that just fires him up. That encourages him to stay more. You just got to go with it. Go with the flow. And then eventually he'll leave. If you try to force him out, it's like throwing gas on a fire. Anyway. Yeah, so women's body clock. Stop thinking about that because you're only going to stress yourself out. Moving on. Another thing people say, 30s is going to change you. As soon as you hit your 30s, life starts going downhill and you start feeling old and your knees and back start hurting. Another lie. Not true. I'm in my 30s and I feel better than I did when I was in my 20s, early 20s. I was 29 when I was in the doing the police academy training. I was smoking all the 21-year-olds. It's not true. It's a lie. I feel way better than I did in my 20s. And I actually feel stronger, meaning like more grounded than I did in my 20s. Lost in my 20s. Wild and lost. So that's another lie. 30s is you do not start feeling old at all. I'm in the way better shape than I was in my 20s. I feel better in my 20s. Spiritually in a better place than I was in my 20s and in my 30s. That's another lie. And if you believe it, you'll start feeling like that. And it's not true. It's a lie. So that's another lie. Here's another one. Now this one, I understand why it's said, but I don't believe it to be true. All right? Because it said, don't, and listen, guys, just because I say this, don't just go run and do it. You know what I'm saying? But it's also, JLP said not to date an older woman. I ain't saying go do it, but I don't agree with that. I dated an older one and I dated a younger one, and I didn't see a difference. The only thing that I understand, and I don't recommend it, actually. I don't recommend it. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying I don't recommend it for this very reason. It's because all it is another obstacle, another challenge, right? It's just another obstacle. It's another challenge that Satan uses on the mind to judge that oftentimes for the woman to judge the man. So if the man is not doing something right, Satan will be in the mind, oh, it's because he's younger than you, he's immature. Like it's an unnecessary obstacle, right? So I'm not saying I recommend it, but I'm saying that I've been in it. And that was not an issue for me. Like I was still, dealing with it as I saw to deal with it. I didn't feel less than her. I didn't feel it more immature than her. I didn't feel that she wasn't my mama. You know what I mean? And so she didn't have the authority over me. As a matter of fact, it was quite the opposite. And then I dated some that was younger. And the younger ones, it's the same stuff, except they didn't have that obstacle of the person being older. So I'm not saying I recommend it, but I'm just saying let God cook. As the Gen Z would say, let God cook. Let him cook. Meaning, for the old folks, let God add whatever he's going to do. It doesn't mean that it's going to last forever. but just don't be so closed off to things. So that's one thing. All in all, before I get to calls, you can call in 888-775-3773, 888-775-3777. Wait, not that's too, it's too many sevens. 3773. Zenny says, Joel, those relationships were not the same. What do you mean? Harmony with the super chat. Appreciate it, Harmony. Harmony says, let God cook. That's right. Let God cook. Stop trying to get in the way. You know what I mean? And also, guys, this is also for the guys, including me too, is that every woman that comes across the path or someone you're interested in, don't believe into the lies that Satan feeds of this is the one. Big mistake. Big mistake. And especially, I understand it, trust me. Like, from personal experience, I understand it. As soon as, like, you see a decent person, you're like, wait, that could be it. Like, I do that. I do it. I'm guilty. But it's a mistake because it has you thinking too far ahead instead of just being normal, getting to know a person. So just watch those thoughts and not get caught up in the future. You know what I mean? Because it may start working out and she may be a decent person, but that also doesn't mean that she's going to be in your life forever. Just because it's added doesn't mean it's going to be added for life. It may just be a situation to teach you. It may be temporary. It doesn't have to mean that this is the one till death do you part. No, it could be, but just let life kind of unfold. So let God cook. Right on, Harmony. I appreciate it. C-Sal with the super chat says, make geriatric pregnancy illegal. I don't even know what that means. C-Sal, listen. C-Sal, you know I'm black. C-Sal. C-Sal. You know I'm black. Why you set me up like this? We supposed to be homies. Jasmine filming. She's like, what is geotrans? I don't even know how to repeat that. I'm scared to repeat it. Lucky Larry with the super chat. Yo, we want because of time shirts. That's a good one. That is a good one. Oh, I did want to do a poll. I'll do a poll later if we have time. We got time. No American Anchor Baby today, so we got some time. At the end, I want to do a poll with you guys on some JFTV merch ideas. So, yes, he said, you gotta, come on. Nobody's gonna define what geriatric means. I'm gonna look it up. Oh. Monto says geriatric pregnancy equals women 35 years old plus risk of congenital disease and labor issues. So I don't understand. Let me go back to the super chat. Okay. So C-South saying make women getting pregnant after 35 illegal. Wow, C-South, what the? I'll still take your donation, but what the? No. Let God cook. I appreciate that. Ome's cooking in the chat right now. Ome's saying the issue is women are forcing it through IVF. I believe that's the fertilization thing. and it's causing problems. They put their issues on the kids. Yeah, you don't want to force anything. You don't want to force anything. You know what I mean? You want to just let God do what he's going to do. Like if you have kids, you have kids. If you don't, you don't. But you don't want to like get into like trying to make things happen. And at the end of the day, like Frederick said, it's all God's plan. So even if you like were to force it, God works out all things, right? Because I wasn't a plan. I don't think most kids really are planned, right? They should be. But I think they all kind of happen. But at the end of the day, you don't want to the point is you just don't want to get caught up in the mind trying to figure out, just stressing, I need to have a baby, and then, and then you accept anything. Zenny says women should be getting pregnant in their 20s. Joel wrong. Said who, Zenny? Who said that? I mean, that's nice. Of course, have as much babies as possible when it makes sense. But I know a lot of immature parents. So why we got to put any kind of age on it? Just let God cook. Children back then were having babies at 14, 15, 13, 14. As a matter of fact, I seen a Jew kid up the street driving. I see him all the time, literally, in Los Angeles, because there's a whole bunch of Jewish neighborhoods. I see talking about like 12. I'm talking about not even hit puberty yet. 12, 13 years old, driving cars. You know what I'm saying? Like, driving cars. And I'm sure at 13, 12 years old, driving cars. And I'm sure at 13, they're going to have a family. I don't know. But I don't think we need to put age on it. Follow the law, of course. But we don't got to put age on it. So that's what that is. Let's get to some calls real quick. Let's go to Seaside of Texas. Seaside wants to clear the air on the geriatric pregnancy. Lord have mercy. Hey, Seaside, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Joel. The kids are here, so it might get a little crazy and loud. I apologize.
Oh, it's all good.
And also, you know what? Okay, maybe I was joking a little bit about making geriatric pregnancy illegal, but definitely let's shame it for sure.
Okay, first explain it again to us what you mean, what you believe that means.
Geriatric pregnancy in the medical community, medically it's known as a woman that gets pregnant after 35 years of age. Why? Because what you have to understand, Joel, is a female starts having her period when she's 12, 13.
Yeah.
I don't know if you understand what a period is, but it's an egg leaving the woman's body. It's the body of the woman getting ready to be pregnant.
Okay.
That starts at 13. So imagine by the time a woman, and this is or
wait,
90 something.
You're breaking up a little bit.
Sorry.
Okay.
I have a terrible. Okay. Is that better?
Yeah, I can hear you now. You're good.
By the time a female is 30 or 40, she's lost 90-something% of her eggs, and the egg quality goes down too. So, but if she starts having her period at 13, 14, 12, and by the time she's 40, she's having kids, the quality of those babies, the health, the strength, not only that, but you're tired. Like when I had my first pregnancy, I was 29. I got married and I got pregnant late, and I wish I would have done it earlier, but not really, because it was God's will, and
right.
I wouldn't have wanted to marry anybody else but my husband. But
oh, you're breaking up. You're breaking up again. Are you there? Oh no. See, so if you can go to another place, Well, I don't know if you can because I know you're watching your kids, but if you go to another room and do something.
Yeah. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Okay, you're better now. Go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, that people, it's too late by the 40s. All the women that I know that had babies at 40-something, they did a terrible job, Joel. They raised them the wrong way. They fed them wrong because they were so old and tired. Women are being told that they can have babies late. It's not true. The quality of life for the child and the mother goes exponentially down. Obviously, if you don't have any other option, well, it is what it is. If it's God's will, don't stress about it. But if you can help it, and I would say for women, prioritize getting married and having children earlier in life. It's better for everybody involved.
Well, ideally, of course, ideally having babies when you're younger could be healthier because the woman's body is in better shape. But I don't know. I think what you're saying, like, I understand it, but I think it also limits the power of what God can do or will do. But I also don't think that it necessarily means that every woman's body is going to be. I hear the babies in the background. That's funny. That every woman's body is going to produce whatever you said to make the baby lack something. I don't necessarily believe that, but I don't know. I think that at the end of the day, it's kind of dependent on what the will of God is.
For sure. It is obviously always the will of God first, but all I'm saying is that women think that they have all this time. No, your body deteriorates. That's just natural. Yes, you can be exercising and eating right and everything. But Joel, you don't know what breastfeeding is. You cannot imagine what breastfeeding at 2 a.m. feels like.
So is it like so at a certain age did you just like dust?
Joel, a newborn
What's the
baby,
difference?
you have to breastfeed this newborn baby every 2 hours around the clock. The amount of nutrients, of liquids that a woman needs, it's a lot on the body and on the mind. Yeah. And when women are older, they get more tired. They don't have patience for the babies. So it is, just in general, it is better. As a mother, I can tell you it is better. Hey, stop. To have babies.
Are you breastfeeding right now or something? What the?
No, I'm just watching the kids. But they're wild. They're crazy.
No, I mean, I understand what you're saying, and I think it's food for thought for ladies to consider. But I don't know. Like, I just think that and maybe there's some type of medical thing too. I'm going based off of how I feel in my 30s, and of course, men and women are different, and their bodies develop differently. But why do you think women's bodies change at this 30 age? Do you think that's just a number, or that's a real thing?
If we're speaking just on the reproductive system, just speaking on the quality of your eggs, and yes, it does change when you hit 35 or 40 or whatever, the quality starts going down. And Down syndrome, my friend, she was 34, my coworker, and her baby is Down syndrome, holes in the heart, immediate surgeries right after the baby was born, horrible stuff. Really, really rough to deal with. And she was barely 34.
And she was 30. It is hard to, it's hard to get, and I get what you're saying as like you're seeing these like these situations to where it's happening, and you do see it. You said you're seeing
in my life.
Yeah,
right,
in your life.
Right.
So I don't want to refute it. I just don't want people to become subject. Yeah, become subject to that idea, because I'm sure there's also like anecdotal examples of women doing it later who the babies came out okay. But I respect you just putting some reality on my optimism. So I appreciate it.
Right.
I appreciate it.
Thank you,
go play with the kids.
Okay, bye.
No, I get what you're saying. And she's just bringing an example of what she's seen in her life. Hey, and that's food for thought. So, but just don't let the mind, corrupt the possibilities if it hasn't happened for you yet, is all I'm saying. But thank you, Cesar. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. My squad, hold it down. Cesar's in my JFTV chat. Always holding it down. Always a great supporter. Right on. Yeah, ladies, call in. Let me hear what you think about it. Cause I know my mom and my sister, they would be disagreeing with me totally right now. If they were listening to the show, they call in and be like, Oh, Omid says he's on your team, C-Sal. Is that what you're saying, Omid? Omid said he agrees with you, C-Sal. He's on your side. Omid, traitor. Omid's a traitor. Nah, but let me go to what is this? Everybody's calling from Texas today. Right on. Let me go to Surge. I think that's a J. Surge. Out of Texas. Welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Yeah, Joe, I'm going by Surge now, so that way that
okay.
Everybody, because when I go by Leo, everybody's like,
"Oh, Surge with the G though. They have a J here, but it's all good. Go ahead."
Yeah, so we stand with C Scout because she's spot on with this, and you're totally wrong.
Whoa! Attack.
Yep. I noticed that, like, you're coming from a spiritual perspective.
Yeah.
But it can be misleading because the women have to have the better parts of their life put together. So in Joel, the women naturally are going to mate young. They just do it. So the best thing to do is to encourage them to make the right decisions early because it's crucial. And when a woman bonds with a man, she pretty much takes on his spirit, and on from a worldly perspective, she takes in his mannerisms, his habits, his outside world. She becomes like him. So It makes it really difficult because if we're telling women that are pushing 30, sorry, Harmony, if we tell women that are pushing 30 that don't worry, you don't need to worry about having a husband because you just get right within yourself. I totally agree with Joel. Things do come, but I don't think God has any hand in this, man. I think this is our choice here.
Wait, what do you mean?
In a sense of desire. So if you don't desire a husband, do you think God give you one?
If you don't desire a husband, do you think God? I think God gives. Yeah, I think God knows what we really need.
Yeah,
but
that's fair.
But if you don't want to get married, I mean, I'm like, I guess to answer your question more clearly, if you don't have a desire to get married and have children, then no, because God knows that you don't have that desire. But what's the point you're trying to make so I can fully understand what you're saying?
I'm just saying that women already, based on what they're doing young, they're already in that state of giving. They're already doing it, Joel. They're already having a baby. God don't got nothing to do with any of that, man. They're having a baby. We wouldn't be talking about some.
God doesn't have anything to do with what? God doesn't have anything to do with what?
the making the babies and stuff like that. Like,
What?
them babies coming no matter if God had a hand in it or not.
But God has a hand in everything. You don't agree?
I'm not going to disagree. I'm not going to disagree with that. But I'm saying people in the fallen state, man, we're making babies. And then we're saying God has something to do with this. The baby came because of God. And I'm sure
I see what you're saying.
that God may have, yeah. So I just think it'll be best for the women to have babies early, because I guess the question will be, when are they having their first partners? We're just going to use that beta word. When are they having their first partners? And then we want to start realizing that whenever they're having their first, that's right about the age that we should be recommending that they have, a husband and babies. I think. I could be wrong.
Say that last part again for me.
That age that they're having their first, that's the age that we should be recommending them to have a husband and make babies.
What
because
age?
That's the age where they're not supposed to do it unless they have a husband.
So you're saying that they should have the babies when they have a husband, and what age is that? Should that be?
No, man. I think they have this at like anywhere between. Let's keep it appropriate, but 18 and 21.
Oh, you know what? Ideally, I'm not disagreeing with you. I agree with what you're saying. And ideally, back in the times when people were more decent, in a decent time, that women and men were both prepared and more mature at way younger ages. As a matter of fact, back in the day, high school didn't even exist. I heard, right? High school didn't even exist. Like, you graduated like 6th or 7th grade, because after that, you then became an adult because the maturity level was different. So,
and that's the other thing I wanted to bring up, Joel. You also need to understand that Americans are making the standard for men because we're weak. We're pushing it back, and we're.
Well, let me just make this point really quick. I'll let you make that point. Just finish what I was saying is that back then they were mature a lot quicker. But so when they had babies, like let's say women had babies like from like 14 to 16, and they had like 10 children by the time they're like 25 or whatever. Excuse me. That was because they were more mature at the time. Now we live in a society where women and men aren't mature at 18, 19, 20, 21. So, but yet they're still having babies, but the babies are influenced by them being immature. So it's children raising children. So, you're ideally somebody who has a baby older now is not necessarily a bad thing, because at least they're mature enough to raise the baby properly, opposed to back then. Now, of course, like I said, ideally, and like C-Sal and you're saying as well, people younger and more energy having babies is ideal, but I don't think it's unideal to have them when it makes sense maturity-wise. But go ahead. Finish what you were saying.
Having them when they make sense is essentially saying when you're ready to have them. You ain't gonna never be ready. Ain't no preparation to having your own kids. Have them babies, man. Gentlemen, I encourage you.
But why? But how could you make that happen? How could you make that happen? Is what I'm saying. How do you make that happen? If I don't have a wife, or Serge doesn't have a wife, how do we just go make the babies then? Because we can't go out and chase the woman now. Now we can't go chase the woman down and find someone to have babies with. No, it has to be added. So
right, I'm talking under. Well, that sounds like a perfect setting, and I don't think that exists. Like, it got to be added. Like, we're in that state in order to yearn for a woman, to even want one. Well, I don't even know why we do, but we know we're in a fallen state to want one. So It's just a part of the process, because the suffering is necessary to get to the light. So we have to do it this way. And I'm not saying that we got to have children on a red lock. I'm saying we should do the right things do right by the woman and treat the woman how we would want God to treat us. But I think my closing argument is that if they don't have children earlier, that it's, how do I say this, that all HE double hockey sticks is going to break loose, because essentially now the age is it's getting pushed back now. So they're having children later, and it's terrible. It's terrible.
Why is it terrible though? What's terrible about it?
Because they are putting things before family, and they're
No,
not
but
made.
but that's what I'm saying. Like, there's some people that may be like intentionally putting off children for whatever reason, but there's many people who just the opportunities haven't presented themselves, and having them, and if they have this in their mind that, oh, it's going to be horrible for me, then that's a lie to me, and that's where my optimism kicks in, because I'm like, for example, for me, I'll speak for me, and then I got the call, the lines are blowing up, so I got to get to the other calls. But when it comes for me, is that I've dated and I've been in a serious relationship. In that serious relationship, I had intentions of going the distance and doing the whole thing, but it just didn't work out. And that had nothing to do with me. I mean, of course, there was my mistakes and her mistakes that we made, but those weren't intentional things. You know, we meant well. And so us not being married or having children has nothing to do with us just being crazy people. It's more so that it just wasn't the time. It wasn't the time. And so for me, moving forward, me being in my 30s, me not having a wife or children is not by a choice. It's not a decision that I made that, oh, I'm going to wait or da-da-da. It just hasn't happened yet. So I don't, and if I try to say at this point, oh, well, it's looking crazy for me and I should hang it up, that's losing hope on the idea that when it happens and if it happens, it'll be by divine appointment and be exactly what it's supposed to be.
Mm. Yeah, no, I agree with that. I agree with that on the hope part. Like, that we should never lose hope. But again, you're coming from the spiritual perspective. And as Hank said earlier when he was talking about the women, he said, and I'm being nice. That was my nice way of putting it. So I'm really being nice, because in these times, when I said the 18 and 20, I'm being nice because I don't want anybody to look at me a certain way, because these times aren't like the olden days where you can, for the smart ones, where you can Karl Malone it and that's okay. So, but I'm saying when the women find a man, whenever age they find that man, men should be doing right by them. I don't care if it's a 10-year difference. Right. Men need to do right by women, period. You have that woman, you have to take care of her for the rest of your life, point blank, period, and do the right thing. Men need to become strong again, and they'll fix all this. And what you'll notice in that, Joel, is that the women will be having the babies young. And if you getting older, like your ex, she getting older and she don't got no kids, you can still make the baby. Talking about I feel better than I was in my 20s. You're a man. You're going to make more money. You're going to feel better. All you got to do is just be decent. We get better. They deteriorate. But anyways, that's physical, in the physical world.
That is, women do deteriorate.
We don't know.
More than men do in the physical way, because of the emotional state and all those things weigh on you. I do agree. And I get what you're saying. And I appreciate it, Serge. Good points that you're making and food for thought. Appreciate it, man. Call me again. Yeah, Chad, don't take it personal. Don't take it personal. Don't start attacking C-Sal for saying what she said, or Serge. It is what it is, type of thing. But at the end of the day, ideally, of course, baby making in marriage would start way earlier, based off of if we were in a more mature society. So you have the time to spend with the kids, raise the kids, and stuff like that. Yes, but it's just my opinion. I could be wrong about it. I'm just optimistic about the process. I'm optimistic and that if it's meant for me to have it or not. But if it is, then I'll be raising them when I raise them, and they'll get what they get when they get it at the time, even if I'm 73. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I think we just have less control of these things than we think. But I will agree there are women and men out there that are putting off and avoiding having children and like doing all these things for the wrong reasons and purposely rejecting certain things. And yes, that could apply to them. But I don't know. It's an interesting conversation. Let me move the calls though. My bad on Surge. All good, Monto. Let me go to I'm gonna go boy, girl, boy, girl, boy, girl, just so we can keep the flow going like that. Let me go to Floor out of what? Oh no. I hung up on Frederick on accident. Total accident. Frederick, call me back. There's lines open, so you should be able to get right in. My bad, Frederick. Floor, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, Joel. How are you?
All is well. How are you, Floor?
I'm doing good.
Good.
So, I wanted to comment about, first with marriage. I think that we should get married young. 18, 19, 20, I think is a good age for you to get married.
I agree.
Because it's also an age that you can get lost really easily.
I agree.
Right?
Yeah, I agree.
So being married in a way gives you a sense of, give me just 1 second, sorry. It just gives you a sense of, it makes you more mature, more family oriented, right?
Yeah.
Now, children, though, like as a woman, I do believe that we should be having children around 25.
You said who?
Why? What was that?
You said what? The family should be having children, a husband and wife should be having children around 25, you said?
After 25.
After
yes.
25. Oh, okay. Why is that?
Yes. Well, even though, yes, women, like their body is more fertile and stuff when they're younger, you have to think about the mind as well of a woman. And I'm talking about a modern era woman, okay?
Yeah.
So when you are young in this generation, I was born in the 90s, okay? So when you're young, you tend to take decisions in a more immature way. Time, when you're younger, you don't think about time, right? As much as you do after you're 30 or after you're 25. After you're 25, you start thinking in a way that how is that decision going to affect you, right? Really, in your lifetime. Before that, you tend to make decisions of how is that going to make me feel, or, well, I can figure that later on. But as time goes by, you start making decisions in a more rational way that will affect your life in a long term, not in a short term.
In a more mature way. Yeah, in a more mature mindset. Yeah. Exactly.
So, like, I'm going to be a little bit personal in this case. Like, I'm 32, and I have a very, very hard time getting pregnant. Most likely I won't get pregnant. Like, I won't have my own child.
Yeah.
But the more time is passing by, yes, it's true, I'm getting into that age that, fertility is just not on my side anymore.
But how do you, not to cut you off, but how do you know that that's the case outside of like that being the reputation of women?
What do you mean? I'm sorry.
Like, how do you know that the clock is ticking for you and it's going to be harder and all that stuff? Like, what makes you believe that to be true?
Well, after 35 or 37, our ovaries, like the, what's it called? I'm sorry. I just got off work, so I'm kind of...
No, you're good. You're good.
Stuck in two languages. So the ovulating process, right? I don't create as much ovaries anymore. My body, like I can tell I am more tired. Like my body's changing, right? I am becoming an older woman.
So you can tell, so you can feel it within yourself based off of like your own experience and what you see about your body and your ovaries. That's how you see it.
Well, yeah, and also medically, since I'm young, I've been going to the doctor and I've been told that I'm a woman who most likely I won't bear a child. Right? I do have a condition for that.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see.
Right?
Okay, I got it.
So, but the more older I'm getting, though, because I would like to adopt. That's actually my main goal, being able to adopt. The more I am getting older, in a way, I am more thanks to God that I will be an older parent. Yes, there will be a generational gap that is really huge, right? Yes, I will be more tired. I don't have the same energy levels as before. But I am so glad that my maturity, it is a lot more bigger, or I am more mature in a way. And I am able to make decisions that are a lot more, they make more sense than when I was younger. So whenever I get to be a parent, right, I think that I will be able to make decisions more, what's it called? Oh my goodness.
More sound decisions. Exactly.
Yeah. And it's just different. The way that I think as a woman is just way different than when I was a younger woman, right?
Yeah.
So, and in a way, I feel more ready as well.
Yeah.
And when I say that, I mean that when you're younger, right, you have all this energy and you want to do all these things. But the fact that I don't have as much energy anymore and that I'm more home-oriented, I feel like I will be able to focus more on my child. Like, friends are not a priority anymore, you know? Like, my family is not a priority anymore. Right now, my priority is get to my husband and be able to have a family with him.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But that also won't really, I mean, the chances that my child might be a screw-up, it can happen, you know, with everybody.
Yeah.
But my maturity level, it is a lot more higher than when I was in my 20s. And if somebody asked me, would you rather have a child back in your 20s or now, I would say now. It's a less scary thing to think about.
Okay, so you were saying you would have it now based off of your maturity level opposed to then. Okay, I see. See, that's where...
Oh, yeah.
See, that's where I'm at with it as well, because due to, like you said, modern society, we've been, not many people... grow up, when they hit 18, 19, some people grow up later because they've had like a messed up upbringing or whatever the case is. So some people didn't have the hand in being raised a certain way. So, of course, maybe ideally it's best to have the kids when you're younger, but I just say don't lose hope in the idea of it happening at all, because it could still happen and still turn out to be a great thing, even though you're in a later age. And I just don't like to put any limitations on what God can do for people in general. Woman, male, age, doesn't matter to me. I always say keep the hope. So that's just what I try to or the point I'm trying to make about it.
Yeah, I agree with you. Now that you said that, it kind of made me think maybe it is not about specifically the age. It is about the level of maturity that you have. But how can you know that you're mature if you're immature?
How could you know that you're mature if you're immature?
Exactly. When you're immature, you're stubborn. You think that you're right. You think that the decisions that you're making are the correct decisions.
Right.
So how can you know that you're maturely ready to have a child if you're immature?
And that's a great question. And I think it also comes down to that we can't say that we're really ready or not ready for anything. That's why we, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, is that we just surrender to God's will for everything. And yes, we know that we're growing and we're in a better position maybe than we once were, but But at the end of the day, it's like we should just let the process be what it is and just be aware for the opportunities that pop up that say, okay, the next step is marriage. Okay, the next step is children. And those opportunities will pop up and we'll just let those present itself instead of us trying to like get caught up in, well, now I'm ready. But wait, I don't want to do it yet because I'm not ready. Like, I don't think we should even have that at all.
Well, to have children, I don't think that anybody's ever ready. Like, be like,
Right.
oh, I'm going to be a great mother.
Right.
You know, you just kind of learn that along the way.
Yeah.
But I do think that you know that you have reached some type of maturity
Yeah.
when you're open to listen to other people. When
Yeah.
your decisions start being made, when you start making decisions based on God
Yeah.
and based on common sense and not on what you think or feel.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's when you can tell, hey, I think that I'm actually being more mature about
Yeah.
the decisions that I make in life.
You definitely grown and developed than what you once were. No, I agree, Floor. I appreciate that. And you said you get to the States in a couple weeks, you said?
July the 16th is the date.
July 16th?
Yes, July the 16th is finally the day.
Wow. Well, good luck with all that. And you always call in and you always have some good stuff to say. And I think your husband has been in the chats of some of the shows here, right? He's been around?
Yeah, he's the one who introduced me to you guys.
Oh, okay. Right on. Well, I wish you guys well, and I appreciate your take on this. Any last questions before I move the calls?
No. Go ahead. I took a lot of your time.
No, you're all good. I appreciate it. And I wish you guys well, Floor.
Thank you, Joel. You have a nice day, okay?
All right, you as well. Bye. Nice. I appreciate the perspective all across the board, especially from the females, because females' bodies, they do mature differently. But also keep in mind that the maturity of a woman's body is also dependent upon the spirit as well. And I know it's like, okay, Joel, you always bring it back to the spirit, but it's like, yes, we have a physical body, and that matters too, right? Like the body is the temple, blah, 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 right? That's true. But there is a spirit that intervenes and performs all kinds of crazy miracles that we've seen happen over time that I like to ground myself in possibilities. That's all I'm saying. I like to just be open and optimistic about all things, because what that does is that it activates the faith, and the faith is the power of all things, right? So if you believe that your body is deteriorating, if you believe that you're not going to be able to have kids, you know, what that is doing is that mindset is not helping the situation. But in reality, yes, the body does change. So I'm not going to deny reality, and I shouldn't deny reality, right? But don't be stressed out and don't lose the hope, or don't do anything. You shouldn't feel anything about it. God is going to do what God's going to do regardless. And if the baby got to come out, no, I don't even want to say that. Let God cook. That's all I'm saying. Let him cook. Let God cook. Frederick didn't call back. Freddie did not call back. Fred, I didn't hang up on you on purpose. But until he calls back, I'm going to get to another call. Look, I'm past 12. Did you guys notice? I'm past 12. I am past 12. Because there's no American Anchor Baby coming in right now. So I have time to just keep it loosey-goosey, you know? We'll see what's going on. We'll see where we go next. King Wesley was like, 11:59, Joel, 11:59. I know, but I got time. Thanks for the reminder. Let me go to Rick out of Virginia. Then callers, I'll get to you shortly here. There are a couple lines open, guys. 888-775-3773. Rick, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey Joel, how you doing today, man?
Oh, wait. This is
This is not Rick from Hampton, Virginia.
Oh,
this
Rick
is Rick from Ohio.
Okay, right on, Rick. My bad. I'm so
We're
locked
here,
in.
next state over.
That's right. What's going
Hey,
on, Rick?
this is not much. Hey, and this is the White Shadow. I called you a few weeks back about the Down syndrome.
Oh,
kids.
yeah. Right on. Right on.
Okay. Couple things. My first marriage, 2 Down syndrome kids from under 30 years old. My wife was under 30. It was genetic. On her side, she had gotten a 3rd pregnancy after we got divorced, and she had that child had Down syndrome. It was a miscarriage. But another woman that I know had 9 children with the same husband, married 26 years. Last child was at 44 years old.
Wow.
None of them had any issues. She started in her 20s. Now you think about the time ticking. What happens when a woman does get pregnant? For at least 9 months, there's no cycle. And usually it's a few months after that, and if you breastfeed, that suppresses the cycle as well. So you could have multiple children and not be spitting out eggs, so the quality can stay high depending on how many kids you have. Now, there are some problems and complications as you get older, and I'm a person who's dealt with someone with menopause, so yeah, there's a clock ticking and the hormones start doing stuff. But
fair enough.
But overall, if you can start having children early because you want to be mature, you want to be married, that's one thing. But if you're going to have a kid because you're selfish and you're young and you want somebody to love, that is not good.
Right.
So, there's like you said, let God cook.
Yeah. Exactly.
Let him do the cooking.
Exactly.
Live the life, and whatever he gives you, he gives you. And if it don't come, he didn't give it to you. Maybe not yet, maybe not never.
Right.
But live your life and enjoy it. That's all I say.
Man, I appreciate that, Rick, 100%, and I 100% agree, and you gave perfect examples. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
All right. Have a good day. God bless you guys.
You as well. 44. And I'm not saying that Surge is wrong at all, and I'm not saying C-Sal is wrong at all. They're right in what they're saying. That's the reality of situations. They do happen like that, and stuff like that does happen. So I don't want to make it seem like I'm denying that, because that's true. But I'm just being optimistic about it and saying that it's possible if God is if God is involved. So let God cook. That's what I'm saying. Let God cook. Let God cook. That's a t-shirt. That's a t-shirt. Let me write that down. That's my first t-shirt. My first t-shirt is Let God Cook. Tell me that wouldn't sell. Tell me that wouldn't sell. That is my first shirt. And you guys better buy it too. You guys better buy the t-shirt. Let me move the calls. Nice. Okay, let me move the call. Let me go to Frederick. Frederick out of Los Angeles. Frederick, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
What's going on, Joel? I'm buying 4 t-shirts.
Right on, Fred. What's going on?
That's right. Let God cook. That's what I'm talking about. But no, first of all, these women, you know what I'm saying? They got too much power as is, and God set it up exactly the way He wanted it set up. You see, Robert De Niro, 80 years old,
popping out babies. Yeah.
Still making babies. That's what I'm talking about. So if you that had your kids at an immature age and you don't think that they need to inherit what you left, you can still make another baby and leave it to the new one.
Right.
Because just because you got kids and that woman think, oh, that's the worst spirit, you gonna have a baby by somebody else. That's the power.
Yeah.
That's our power. You know what I'm saying? We are built like this. Though I ain't gonna say it was a white man, but somebody said it's only supposed to be one man and one woman. Then why do we work like this?
Oh
Why
wait,
do
so
our
you're saying that
bodies
you
work
can
like
have?
this?
You're saying that you can have
As many
babies,
as you can handle.
but
God don't give you more than you can handle. Let them cook.
I
Why
mean,
why the white man
with
put
other
restrictions on us?
women though.
Man,
What
with
the-
as many as you can have.
As many women
There
as you
would
can
be
have.
women lonely without kids at 40 if we was over there knocking them up at 20. That's how they all slip through the cracks and don't get pregnant until it's too late.
Well, how many
No,
women
that
do you
ain't how
want?
it's supposed to work.
How many?
I want my 5 wives.
5.
And then when I have my kids with my 5 wives, I bet you ain't no other man gonna take them in because the other 4 wives gonna go over and check on them. And they don't want that. They're gonna be like, man, y'all get away from her. I'm like, no, these are little nephews.
But what
They know
about?
what's up.
Oh, what about like for you that seems beneficial? But what about for the women who have to share one man with each other,
They
even
sharing that
sexually,
income, too.
even they have to watch another woman be all over
They doing
their
it
one
already.
man.
They doing it already
Yeah.
on OnlyFans. They don't care
Yeah,
how many
but those
men they got to
are
share.
women that are out of control. Women, those are
All these
decent.
women are out of control. No.
You said what?
All these women. Show me the
No.
women that's in control. Where are the women that are in control at?
No, but I'm talking about they're decent enough to have an understanding to not be out there going crazy and they're more mature.
That's why we need
the
prenup.
OnlyFans women are
They still
mature.
running wild. They just having babies by the rich men. They still running wild, need prenups, and need to be handled. The women,
No, that's not true.
look. Hey, some of the women, I'm telling you. Then why would God have the babies coming out with Down syndrome if the older they get, the more chances of them not having a healthy baby? I mean, that's fact. All the women are calling in telling you they know their own body. Believe them when
Right.
they tell you who they are.
I believe that, but I don't believe that you're saying that the women it's okay for them not to be okay with sharing a man because they're all out there. All women are crazy and
They're sharing a
capable.
man anyway.
Share
Yeah.
what? I don't know
Man,
what
you better,
women.
if they ain't married, you better believe. I'm telling you, they ain't loyal. I don't know what you think. But yeah, these value males know how women act. And
Okay,
that
so let me.
bag- Go ahead.
No, let me ask you this. So let's say, for example, Seasal, who's married and has a husband and grew up with her father and mother, both married, and the people her around, aunts and uncles were married. You saying if she wasn't married, that she would be out on OnlyFans?
I'm saying her husband ain't guaranteed to stay with her. She could get divorced. I mean, let God cook. You don't know what's in store for her. The same way she feels about geriatric women having babies, she could be one because her man tells her when to get pregnant and lay down. So what's going to stop her from 40, from her husband telling her to lay down, I want a baby? She's going to have one.
Right.
She's not in control.
Right.
Okay, then. So it's a
No,
man's
but you're
world.
saying, but you're saying that if she wasn't married and have children, that she would be like every other woman on
40,
OnlyFans.
she might be 40 and still not having no kids. You know what I'm saying? Wanting kids because she was so independent. You know what I'm saying? It's always they pass up the good dudes for who they want. And that's their punishment.
Well, Fred, I'm sorry if you have 4 wives, then you definitely those wives ain't gonna be. You think they did? If you have 4 wives, you think all 4 of them wives are gonna be loyal to you?
Oh my God. Do you know what under one roof means? Under one roof. Do you know what that means? You gotta quit putting you putting too many a man can't do all of that. There are men who have multiple wives today over there in Dubai, United Emirates.
I agree.
They live fine.
But for the man, it is it's still crazy. But for the man, he can handle it because he's not so caught up in the emotion of it, and it's actually more satisfying to his ego. But wait,
they don't.
But women don't see it that way. Women see it differently. Oh, my
Because they
background.
want power. When you have women competing, they're going to have to compete for what they invested in.
But if they
You
have
got
to
women out here
share,
without individualism. Listen, the
Okay, go
Bible
ahead.
took individualism and made it popular.
okay,
Individualism is always about every TV. You don't never see it about the family, do you?
say that again.
Everything's individualist. Everything from the aspect of you getting saved, you got your own relationship with God. It's never they want to take the family out of it.
Yeah.
If you looking at what the people at the top put in the media and brainwash you to see,
Yeah,
because all of this is God's plan. You got to search in your heart and figure out why my body works like it does and why do I have these feelings, because that's what
Right.
what the DNA, the blueprint God put in you. Not what these rules say. You fighting against these rules because they're man-made.
no,
You ain't
but
gotta
that's
fight
why I
against the
say.
flesh.
But that's why I say drop the morals and values, because those are rules, and let the morals and values of the heart come about. I agree, drop the rules, but excuse me. What you're
I hear what you're saying, but that's scary. You can't, morals and values, don't drop those, because then you're going to have people doing whatever they want to do. There's consequences.
well, I get what you're saying too.
Principalities.
But the thing is though, is that when it comes to the women in the house, really quick, having the wives, is that the wives have to share, and especially the women are emotional in that way, and they want one husband. So do you think that they're going to all be loyal to the one husband?
I'm telling you, trust me. Right now, if you go on the internet, you will find a movement happening right now on polyamorous couples and how happy they are, besides being single, looking for love, and having these men playing games, putting up a front like they got money, ended up being broke, running off on them after they got them pregnant. Hey, the women are fed up, and they'll take one good man and share him with 3-4 women instead of one, wasting their time on one.
Okay,
Hey, I'm telling you.
Fair enough. No, I believe it's out there. But happy is another thing. But I believe that it's out there. But let me ask this: is that why would, in your opinion, why would you think that you need more than one woman? Why is one woman not enough?
Because in order to build an empire and have all your kids be successful, and you got to keep family first and foremost, just like the Jewish people do. Have you heard of Jewish law? If one man loses his wife, his single brother has to marry his wife and raise his kids. Yeah, that's Jewish law, because they keep it family tight, because family's most important. So you keep passing. They don't let no stranger come get with this woman and then corrupt his kids and then all of that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They got the law right for them, but they won't let, you know what I'm saying, nobody else know the laws they live by or whatever.
Well, you didn't answer the question, though. You didn't answer the question. You said that to build an empire, but you can build an empire with one wife. Why do you have to have multiple wives to build an empire?
Because 4 incomes is better than one.
4 income. Oh, so the wives, not only are you having 4 wives, but they all got to work?
Yeah. Come on, Joel. Yeah, they all get 1 week's vacation if they want to, while the other 3 work. They gonna love that. Look,
so you don't believe in a housewife? You don't believe in women raising the children?
They got enough. Somebody's gonna be home, and they're gonna rotate every week. You're gonna have a different housewife. You got four wives. One's gonna be in the bed with me. The other 3's at work. Man, you gotta learn how to organize and you gotta organize.
What?
Prioritize. All right, Joel. It's different. No, I'm telling you, it's going back to that. And these betas, that's going to be the next red pill they all going to be jumping on, because right now they ain't doing nothing but trying to be pimps. And pimps, man, they got the women really being of service out here. They know how to treat women. They don't give them no love.
So you agree with Andrew Tate and this high value, and Myron Gaines and high value?
He's a wannabe. He didn't start off pimping. He started off a UFC fighter, had his money, started tricking, got some girls, and then used them to do his bidding. That ain't the real deal. That's just taking advantage. No, that ain't the real deal. There's a lot of imposters out here, and they can't do it because once they get so far, they got to go run back to the source. You know what I'm saying? Once you got the source in you and you know thyself and you know the goal, they will follow. They will lead you. You will lead them to the promised land, I promise.
Well, I appreciate it, Freddie. Lord, you done said a mouthful. I don't know about all that.
That's my views. Free speech is real, and they hate when I do my free speech. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. You got the right.
N-word. And you stop doing the N-word tower too, Joel. You black.
N-word tower is going up. Nah, I appreciate it, man.
All right.
All right, man. Call me again. Oh. I don't know how Hake and Nick and Jesse be going for 2-3 hours. I'm tired. What the? I'm worn out. I'm about to pass out here trying to keep up. I don't know how they go all these hours. But look at me. My voice cracking. Can't even talk. But I am going to get to these calls. I will go through the calls. I'm committed to finishing the calls. And then I got to do a poll. And then I'll end. But N-word tower's going up. Let's get to it. JC out of Arkansas, also known as Arkansas. Hold on, let me make sure I press the right button. JC, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
What's up, Joel? How you doing?
All is well, JC. How are you?
I'm all right. Lions being check-in, not the straight pit where they talk. Anyways, how can you not smile whenever Frederick is on the line? That dude is one of my favorites. Shout out Frederick, L.A. My Frederick. Justice for Frederick.
Right on.
You know, it was interesting. I was scrolling through Facebook as I was listening to Floor Chiefs because sometimes I just can't listen to her fully. I told her I hope she adopts because I don't think she should share genes and reproduce.
Why? Why do you say that? Why do you say that?
On a personal level.
What's your beef with Floor?
There's no beef with Floor too often. Just her and her husband just should adopt. They should not share genes. And I've told them this. So it's nothing new.
Right, but like, how do? But that you don't see that's not your decision to make, and that you're it's not right for you to oppose that on somebody else. That's judgment, man.
To help with the world, I think they should just adopt.
To help with the world, because you don't like them. You don't like what they believe.
I don't like what they believe, and I don't think they have a good mental stance. So.
Well, but they also have, but it's okay if they have children against your belief.
I believe,
and they're able to raise their children. That's don't you think everybody should have the right to raise children even if you don't agree with their beliefs?
No, I don't think some people should reproduce. I think natural selection should sometimes take over.
Well, but if you wanted to have kids, can't nobody stop you.
Right, and that's what I was going to say. I think they would also say the same thing in response to me, what I just said about them. I think they would say the same thing. So I'm not going to be too worried about how they feel.
All right. Well, anyway, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, so it was very interesting. I had just saw a picture, and I'm going to read it to you, on Facebook, and it says, getting married after 30 is still beautiful. Starting a family after 35 is still possible. Buying your first house after 40 is still a boss move. Don't let people rush you with their timeline.
Yeah.
Like that fits in with your show.
Yeah, I ain't mad at it. I love it. I'm open. It sounds optimistic. It sounds optimistic to me.
And I get it too, because I had dreams. I wanted to be a father by the time I was like 25 or 28 because I didn't want to be like an old father. And I'm 30. I've never done anything of the sort to even try to have a child. So I definitely get like the frustrations of not being a father just yet because I do get baby fever sometimes. And like I'm a godfather to like 17 children. I got like 17 godchildren. But it's also like I'm very much also enjoying my freedom, if that makes sense. Like I'm 30, but I can go out and hang out whenever I want to. I'm able to do whatever I'm needed. The only real responsibilities I have is if I'm choosing to like help my parents with like medical things that they may have go on, and that's like where I'll feel most guilt. But otherwise, I'm okay not having children right now, but I do want children in the future when I get myself together.
When you
So I
say,
think there is.
no, go ahead. Finish your point.
So I do think there's like truly is like a right time and stuff. Of course, in God's time, it's whatever. But I don't necessarily think like having a child at 18, 19, 20 is always good. But it's also like if you're going to start having children, the youngest it needs to be is 18. I didn't know where Serge was going, where he was saying he was being nice, saying 18 to 20. I wanted to question. I think I put in the IG. What do you mean being nice? What do you mean being nice? Because you gotta. I listen to some of these people when I always have like suspect eyes.
So what are you asking?
Yes, sir. When that caller was like, he was being nice, saying that women should start having babies at 18 through like 20 and stuff, and he was being nice.
Oh yeah,
I wish he could have clarified that.
Yeah, I don't know what he meant by being nice either. I mean,
Right.
I hope he was still being honest. You know what I mean, Serge? I hope you were being honest. But yeah, like, you know, I think that whatever age it is, just, you know, ideally, I don't think that we should put a number on anything. I think that we should do our best as parents to raise our children the best way possible, and children will be led to get married and make babies in their adult years when they see fit. But I just don't like putting timelines and time frames on anything. But I also don't like people stressing about time either, or age either, and thinking that it's too late, or like they're out of luck, and they feel all these things, and that's just unnecessary. So
right now, in terms of like women that are getting older, there are some concerns about that. Like there are health risks. A lot of women, I forget the type of diabetes that can develop in pregnancy, especially if they're like over the age of 35 or 40, or a lot of things can happen to the child if the mother's like a little bit older than like what's usually expected. But I still want to say don't do that and stuff, because there were numerous people that had babies. For instance, the lady from Boy Meets World, the black girl, she's 54 and pregnant with her first child.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, Trina McGee, I think her name is. She's pregnant with her first child. And then one of my favorites, Janet Jackson, back in 2017, she got pregnant at age 51. And so she's still doing it. It's still possible to happen and everything, but it's like just do things at the right time. Do things at the right time. When you're mentally prepared, when you're physically prepared and emotionally prepared, I think that's the right time to have a baby, as long as you're an adult. As you're an adult.
I agree with what you're saying, just outside of the fact of being physically and spiritually and emotionally ready, because I feel like that's also an idea that we can have. And I don't know if anybody ever feels ready, or I've heard people also say that they're ready, and I'm looking at them like, no, you're not. So I think like just let the opportunity. I think it's more so letting just the opportunities present themselves, and not even letting them present themselves and choosing them, right? I mean, like letting life happen. And when life happens, you'll see when the next steps to take. Like if it's marriage, if it's children, if it's whatever, we'll just be led into that. And I don't think we should try to prepare or any of that. Like just live life, and
yes, sir.
That's all. You know what I mean?
And then I know you got to go soon. And when you were saying you don't know how they do it, they take breaks. Like if it's over an hour, they tend to take breaks and stuff. So that's how. But I was going to speak to your point on how, like back then, you know, people used to have children a lot younger and stuff versus like people now at like age 20, it is like children raising babies and stuff. And I was going to say, I also agree that if you are not feeling like you're prepared to have a child, to give it up for adoption. And I find nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Like, if you did the deed of deeds, like, don't let that child suffer just because you're not ready. Just give that baby up for adoption, and I'm sure that child would forgive you. Now, don't terminate it and stuff.
Right.
I'm very much against that.
Nice.
But give give that baby a chance. Give that baby a chance.
Right.
And so I'll leave you with that.
Right on, JC. That sounds like a very logical point. So I appreciate it, man. Thank you for the call. And
Yes,
it's always nice to hear from you, man.
Always nice. It's good to hear from you too. Y'all come in on the IG chat, the Lions Den. We win over there.
That's right.
Come over there. Have a good weekend, Joe. Y'all.
All right, you as well, JC. Appreciate it. Right on. Right on. No termination. You know? At the end of the day, this is just what I say. In all honesty, at the end of the day, in all things, I don't care if it's termination. We're just going to say termination. You guys know what I mean. Termination or not termination. I don't care. Listen, I'm not even heavy set on that. My thing is this. At the end of the day, let God cook. Let him cook. You will know the right thing to do in the moment. And ideally, if the process is already in motion of conception, let it finish it out, because it already happened. So ideally, where I stand is let it go all the way through. Let the process finish. It already was cooking, and it was already cooking. So there's no reason to stop the process. So that's where I stand. But let God cook. So that's why if I was a politician, I'd be boring. People wouldn't like me if I was a politician. If I was a politician, people would not like me, and they would think I'm boring. Because I understand, it's not a side. I just don't be believing in sides. You know what I mean? I understand parts of both. So, what a mess. I'm committed to get these calls, but let me get to a super chat. Lord have mercy. I'm getting lightheaded. No, not really. Hold on. Let me get to these super chats. I had one open, and now it closed. And of course, they're asking me to do the I'm not a robot test. You know how they ask you, click on all the skateboards you see on the photo. And then you click on all the skateboards and it's still not it. Now they want to ask me that. They never asked me that before. Click on all the fire hydrants. And I'm like, why are there so many fire hydrants in this one area? I hate those things. It won't let me look at the super chat there. Let me check the super chats here really quick, and then I'll get back to the calls here. The key with the donut says, let God cook, should be added to those merch ideas. Exactly. I'm already ready to go. Court Green. Court. Mod Squad. Team Mod. Court says, God is still in control, only if you let him be. Don't be the devil's punching bags. Be still and see it for yourself. That's right, Court. Court knows what's up. That's why he a mod on JFTV. I think he's a mod also on the other channels too. Right on, Court. And Court from Louisiana. He's my peoples. Who that? Court knows. Court, chew. That's right. Think for yourself, Chew. Think for yourself, Chew. Court gets it. Jasmine said, Joel Black, he can't work overtime. Listen, Jasmine, don't make me unmod you right now. You better keep talking mess. I'll unmod right now. Nah, I'm just playing. Nice. Thank you, Court. Appreciate it. With the donuts. Right on. Let's see. Not a problem sends a donation on YouTube and says, let God cook with a little, I don't know what that means. But he's referring to Kanye West. Let God cook with a little blank Kanye West. Right on, let God cook. I don't know about the other part, but let him cook. Appreciate it, not a problem. Okay. Let's go to Jaime out of Minnesota. Jaime, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
How you doing, Joel?
How's it going, Jaime? All is well.
Pretty good.
Nice.
Excited for the debate?
Oh, yeah. Looking forward to it.
It's going to be nice. Hey, I wanted to talk to you about what we were talking about the other day, about men providing for the women and the women just being subservient to the men.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I found some Bible verses, and I thought I'd share those with you.
Okay.
Proof undeniable that that's the way it goes.
Okay.
Which I think you can agree with.
Wait.
And it's in King James Version, too.
Yeah.
I know everybody appreciates.
All right, go ahead.
Genesis 3:16. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy at thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. Boom.
Yeah. My desire. Right? Read that one more time.
Which part?
The whole thing.
Oh, unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow, and at thy conception, in sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee.
And what is that, from the New Testament or the Old?
Genesis 3.
Okay, that's the Old Testament. And what do you think that means?
Well, it means exactly what it says.
Like, for the people who don't know the King James Version and don't understand, interpret for us.
Thy desire shall be to thy husband.
In meaning submission to the husband?
Yeah, desire. Thy desire.
Yeah.
And he shall rule over thee.
Right.
Rule.
And how does this relate? How does this relate to our last conversation? Catch the people up a little bit. How does this relate to our last conversation?
What we were talking about was the lovemaking. Like, if the woman wants to have the act,
yeah. So let me
then the man should be willing to, even if he doesn't want to.
Okay, so let me fill the people in. Last week, Jaime called into the show at the end of the show, and we were getting into it back and forth about. He said that when it comes to, the act, having sex with his wife, that it's only through his decision that they have it. If he doesn't want to have it, or he sees that they shouldn't have it, he doesn't, and his wife listens. But my argument was that no, both of the husband and the wife have the rights to it when they want it, and it's not based on anybody's authority over it. But Jaime had disagreed, and that's what he's saying here in the scripture, that the scripture's saying that the wife's desire should be to the husband. So are you saying that you have the right to say no to it if she asks?
Right.
But you don't think that when two people come together, they own each other's body?
Own? No.
Like for example, if your wife wants to have sex and you don't, and you're denying it for whatever reason, do you think she's wrong for asking you of that?
No, not for asking, but expecting to get it.
Oh, okay. So is she
But
wrong for expecting it?
The man's always working, and like if I'm tired and I'm too tired, and I say, hey, no, maybe tomorrow,
And
then
okay.
It's settled, done. But when I want the yes, then she must be open to it.
Oh, okay. So you're saying when it comes to you, she must be open to it. When it comes to her, you can deny it.
Right.
But so you don't see nothing wrong with that? You think that that's how it should go?
Well, I know that's wrong to the world, to the feminists. That's wrong.
But that's wrong to.
I'm not blind to why other people would think that was wrong.
This is my opinion about it. That's wrong as well, because that's a double standard. For one, like, of course the women, and I think you're taking the obedient thing too far in my decision. Yes, the wife is obeyed, but you don't get extra rights that she doesn't get. You guys are married, and both you guys are obviously burning, right? Have a desire for each other. You don't get to deny her when she's burning, but when you're burning, she has to give you access. That's not right.
Oh, okay. Well, in Genesis 3:16 it says, "And he shall rule over thee."
Well, Genesis, but you have to also remember Genesis is
what does rule over thee mean?
Well, Genesis is also the Old Testament. Genesis is also the Old Testament, and that came after the curse, because when the curse happened, that's when the woman was subject to the man in the sexual way. But now when Jesus came back, it's a different order of life. So I wouldn't hang too tight to that.
Did Jesus say that?
Yeah, Jesus came back and wiped away lifted the curse. That was the curse.
He said that the woman is no longer ruled over the man?
Yeah, the man doesn't rule over the woman. The woman is in submission to the man by her understanding of what submission is and by her duty as a wife. But the man is not ruling over her like he once was back in the Old Testament.
Right. Now, I know Paul said that in 1 Corinthians. I know Paul said it. But, well, anyways.
Paul said what?
Paul said not to deny each other.
Right, not to deny each other, right? And you don't agree.
Yeah, but that's Paul. Jesus didn't say that. I think you're wrong about that.
Okay, well, fair. You don't think Paul would, so you disagree with Paul or what he said about that? Oh, okay, fair enough. That's fair. But go ahead.
But also we had talked about the duty of the man to take care of the finances.
Yeah.
And I have some scripture where I agree with Paul on this. 1 Timothy 5:8.
Okay.
But if any provide not for his own, and especially for those of his own house, he hath denied the faith and is worse than an infidel. That's knowledge.
Read that one more time.
1 Timothy 5:8, KJV. But if any provide not for his own, and especially for those of his own house, he hath denied the faith and is worse than an infidel.
No, I agree. I agree with that. I agree with, that's a part of a man's role, is to go out and make the money, and he's able to do that. So I agree with that 100%.
And that also includes for like the woman in her future. as they age.
Say it again.
Well, for the woman and her future,
Uh-huh.
he has to be making sure that he's got enough saved up so that she can live a good life.
I don't believe in the saved up thing, but I get the point. I get the point is that he's supposed to provide, but
Right.
I don't. The woman, the thing that gets tricky is the woman tends to now start judging him based off of what the scripture says about him providing instead of just trusting that he'll take care of that no matter what.
And that comes back to Genesis 3 in what God told Adam. He said in verse 17, and unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee, saying, thou shalt not eat of it.
Yeah.
Cursed is the ground for thy sake.
Yeah.
In sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life. Thorns and thistles shall it bring forth to thee, and thou shalt eat the herb of the field. In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread, till thou return unto the ground, for out of it wast thou taken, for dust thou art, and unto dust thou shalt return. But right there, the important part is, thou shalt eat in the sweat of thy face.
In the sweat.
And in the sweat. So you got to work 40 hours for yourself.
Yeah, I agree.
And then you got to work another 20 hours for your wife.
Interesting.
You got to be, a man's got to be working 60 hours, especially in this economy.
A man's got to put the work in. But let me just say to this because I am running low on time here again. But
sure.
What do you have to say about this? This is 1 Corinthians. Shout out to Zenny for sending this to me. 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 4. The wife hath not power. This King James version. The wife hath not power of her own body, but the husband. And likewise, also the husband hath not power over his own body, but the wife.
Yeah.
What
do I think of that?
Yeah.
I think Paul is one of the first communists. One of the first Marxists.
Well, we tried.
There are a few ideas.
We tried, Zenny. He didn't.
But when you guys were talking about the young children, if you have children when you're young or old, and that there's not a difference.
Yeah.
In Psalms 127:4, it says, "As arrows are in the hand of a mighty man, so are children of thy youth. Happy is the man that hath his quiver full of them." And I'm middle aged. I'm 36. I just had my first kid, so I missed out on a lot of young having kids young. But it says they're right in the Bible.
So what does that scripture mean to you? Interpret it for us.
It means I should feel very ashamed of not having kids in my youth. That
you should feel ashamed?
Yeah.
And it
would have been better if I had kids in my youth. But I see, I'm practical. I'm a practical guy. Can't happen. I was too much of a mess.
There you go. Yeah, no shame, no guilt. It's what it was.
But when I explained to my kids, or my son, I let him know, have kids when you're young. It's the best time to have them.
Interesting. I understand that. That. Yeah, I understand that. Well, I appreciate it, Jaime. It's always good talking to you.
Thanks for letting me share that with you.
Yeah, no problem. Have a good one.
Bye.
Nice. I'm gonna, not now, but I'm gonna end the show as if it was a 2-hour show. I won't go past that. I won't get greedy with the time. So with that being said, let me just do some of these super chats and then I'll start wrapping it up. Nice. Terry Strange with the super chat on YouTube sends a rose. Right on, Terry. Back at you. Is the gumbo at the house ready? I'll be coming home and I'm gonna be hungry. Appreciate it, Terry Strange. You the best. See Sal with the donation on YouTube with a unicorn. I don't know what it means, but I appreciate it. Right on. I don't know what it means. But it depends on when she sent it. Because it depends on when she sent it. That's where it depends. So, but I appreciate it, C-Sal. Right on. C-Sal, 2 donations in one day. Right on, C-Sal. Hake with a super chat. And his, what would you call it? Clip art? I don't know what he's doing. Is he like, he blowing a kiss? Uh-oh, Hake. What are you trying to say? Hake getting a little flirty here. I don't know about it. Oh, but he sent a donation, so that's okay. We appreciate it, Hake. Right on. But I'm going to give you one of these. You know, I'll give you one of these. Appreciate it. The Hake Report. Appreciate it. Kale Samogi with the super chat. He has a chicken walking with a trumpet and a little chicklet walking with the trumpet. Is it following daddy and playing the trumpet? Right on. Right on. Appreciate it. Very fitting. Very fitting, Kale. Shout out to Kale Ahmad on the JFTV podcast. And C-Sal says, it doesn't mean anything. She just thought it was a cute sticker. Right on. Appreciate it. Apologize. Frederick says, Joel, you need to apologize for the spaghetti she cooked. All right, let me do a poll real quick. Let me just do a poll. Because Let God Cook is going to be the first shirt. I got to make that. But let's do shirt number 2. I want you guys to tell me which one I should do. So we're going to do a poll. Hold on. Let's go back here. And then we'll end. So let's start a poll. We got, let's see. You guys got to tell me real quick in this last thing what we should do. Hold on. Here we go. Oh, Christ Conquers with the donation. Appreciate it. True Jerusalem belongs to the true Christians. Theologians 2:14 through 16. Right on, and he says sends the image of a cougar. Appreciate it. The true Jerusalems belong to the true Christians. Right on.
Yeah.
Oh, JLP popped in.
You got an old mama.
Why are you still? She's not old. JLP's asked if I have an old mama. He's still on it.
You said your mama old when
She had my little brother at an older age.
like 30.
38.
Ooh.
She's not old, folks. JLP lying.
They had children when they were 18, 19, 20, 29. My mama had 9 babies by the time before she got to 30.
Yeah, in the old school, that's how it was. But the new school, we all jacked up. So we didn't have babies early. We just late.
When everybody so screwed up, they got old mama.
And then everybody also have different daddies.
That's why the guys so weak and frail.
That's true.
They got mama disease.
But the JLP network guys at the show are gonna make a change.
But how?
We're gonna have babies with one woman. We're gonna get married, and then
18?
and we're gonna that can happen. But we'll just be old.
Do it at 18.
Are you wait? But if you go any longer, you gotta go on the mic.
I can't.
Okay. JLP coming in again.
I didn't know your mama old.
Okay. Go. Let me see. Oh, shoot. The poll is going. You're not going to read my super chat. Oh, wait. I didn't see the super chat. I didn't see a super chat from you, modern gentleman. You're lying. Let me see. Oh, he did say it. Modern gentleman says, God said, go forth, be fruitful, and multiply. Have as many babies as you can for as long as you can. There is no age limit. Boom. I'm glad I read that last, modern gentleman. You are right. You are right. Have as many babies as you can for as long as you can. 80, 90, 100, 110, 120. Pop them things out if you can. I don't care if they come out like this. Right? I don't care if two heads are attached together and they like pop them things out. Give life. You know what I'm saying? Let God cook. Frederick with a super chat. Mr. Steal Your Chick meets Mr. Steal Your Mama. I'm dying. Right on, Frederick. I appreciate it. Mr. Steal Your Chick meets Mr. Steal Your Mama. Hilarious. C says, La Joel, no, don't do that. I appreciate that, Frederick. Right on. IG go on YouTube. But who's Mr. Steal Your Mama though? Send another super chat and tell me. They said Joel don't need overtime no more, said Serge. And I'm getting delirious. I can't handle 2 hours. I'm losing my mind over here. So far on the poll, everybody's voted for Know Yourself. What about make men broke again? Or make broke men great again? Lord have mercy. Okay, so right now, so far, in the last few minutes here, we're going to see what shirt should be done next. And I'm not saying this is going to happen anytime soon, but I can't do another poll. Next time. I vote make broke. Nice. Right on. See, a few people want make broke men great again. You know what I mean? Make broke men great again can make someone look broke. Jasmine says, make broke men great again can make someone look broke. That's okay. That's okay. It's about the spirit, folks. You're rich in the spirit. It don't matter what's in the wallet. C-South says broke is 80K a year to a feminist. No, honestly, on Instagram, I follow this account called Wealth, and it says that Americans who make $200,000 or less or something say that that's not enough to live. It's crazy talk. If you are making really anything, you can really make a living in America. You can really make a living if you're living right. You can really make a living doing anything. But that's insane. At that point, you're realizing the problem's you. It ain't what you're making. Harmony says she made good money and she was a mess and unhappy. Exactly, Harmony. Exactly. But you good now. Anyways, I got to end. So the poll says know yourself is t-shirt number 2. And t-shirt number 1 is let God cook. I'm going to get on that ASAP, y'all. And we're going to sell them. But you guys better buy them. Don't make me look crazy if I put them up and then ain't nobody buy them. You know what I mean? Don't make me look crazy. Help a brother out. All right, guys, I got to end. As you guys know, American Anchor Baby is streaming today at 6 p.m. and possibly the debate. We don't know yet, but we'll see what happens. But either way, make sure you guys tune in to the American Anchor Baby show at 6 p.m. today. You don't want to miss it because, listen, if he's not going on at his normal slot, that means it's a special day. So you don't want to miss it. Make sure you guys tune in. Follow JLP Network across the board on YouTube and Instagram. Come on. All of the guys are all on that channel. So you want to make sure you follow. And we got some stuff coming you guys don't even know. You guys don't even know what's in store. So make sure you follow, subscribe, and share. Everybody, Jesse Lee Peterson Show, The Hake Report, Joel Friday TV, and more folks to come. You never know. I got to go, y'all. Until next time, this was fun. Now I got to go take a nap. I wore it out. What the? Nah, but this was fun, y'all. I got to go. Until next time, have a good weekend. Enjoy your weekend. And I'll see you guys back on Monday for the JFTV podcast. Bye.